Hey, good morning. It is Saturday. It's a little after 9 o'clock. It's November 22nd. TK, it's almost Thanksgiving, man. It's almost Thanksgiving. We'll get to it in a minute, man. We're going to talk about some Thanksgiving stuff. We got the turkey wagon down in the bottom corner of the screen. I'm sure you see that if you're checking us out right now. I don't know what the turkey wagon's all about, but whatever. We got the turkey wagon down there, so that's how you know it's almost Thanksgiving. Welcome to Illegal Formation with myself, Chad Bryan, and my man TK Dandridge over here. We're on the Inside Edge Network. We're brought to you by LPV Productions, as always. Today, some big Cleveland news, man. Shedeur Sanders gets his first start for the Browns tomorrow. Played a little bit last Sunday against the Ravens. Didn't go well. When it's your first time out there with the ones, when you haven't even practiced. And listen, people are making a big deal about that, and we'll get to that in a minute too. I don't know that it's as big of a deal as people are making of it. I've kind of done some digging and I've tried to just do as much research as I possibly can. And I don't think in the NFL it's that rare for a backup quarterback to not get some run with the ones. I thought maybe this was like a Shedeur thing. I think it's weird that Kevin Stefanski doesn't seem to want to say his name at press conferences. That's weird to me. I don't necessarily understand that.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange.
I don't get that. I'm not sure what that's about. It's hard to even try to break that down because Kevin Stefanski's press conferences are so weird anyway. I don't know. I think
Nobody talks football anymore.
No.
Even after the DePodesta left the building, nobody talks football anymore. I don't understand it. And back to your original point, with the backup QBs not getting run with the ones, we've seen instances like that before. Most recently with the Los Angeles Chargers, when they had the medical malpractice on the sideline, tending to Tyrod Taylor, who was their starter at that point in time. The shot that leaked into his lungs, they had to take care of that. So Justin Herbert had gotten the start. But, at the same time, I do understand.
I forgot about that.
Right. I do know that it is not necessarily normal, but, you think about it, even Super Bowl contending teams of the past would sometimes give their number 2 quarterback runs with the ones just in case something would happen to the QB1. You think of the 2015 Carolina Panthers, Ron Rivera was very adamant with giving Derek Anderson at least some type of run with the first team unit, just in case something happened to Cameron Jarrell Newton. But, they never had to resort to that. But still, it was a tactic that Ron had used quite often with his number 2 quarterbacks. I want you guys to, get at least some type of run with these guys. We know what we have in our QB1. Obviously, we want to get them all the reps that they possibly need. They're going to get every rep possible in the game, which is going to matter. It doesn't have to be a significant amount. You think Rivera probably had Derek Anderson run 10 or 15 plays.
Yeah.
Really
and maybe you said it there. Maybe it's the fact that they did have Cam Newton there. They did know what they have in the starter. And I'll listen, I'm willing to give Kevin Stefanski the pass on this one because with Dillon Gabriel, it's not exactly like what you have in your starter, right? Coming in. I think they expected Kenny Pickett to be the guy. Nobody expected Joe Flacco to go out there and start week 1. I think the plan was it was to be Kenny Pickett, right? And then Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders were going to battle it out for the 2 and 3 spot. That was going to be the plan. Hamstring injuries happen, and Kenny Pickett never even. I don't know that he got any time in practice at all. I don't know that he did anything at all with the Browns.
Really didn't.
Yeah, left here, he was gone, and now the Browns were kind of left scrambling. They go to Joe Flacco. So listen, maybe it's like an extenuating circumstance. Maybe it's not all that weird that Sanders didn't get a ton of run with the ones this year. But I just think as you go on, and then when Flacco gets traded out of here in week 5, right? You've got Dillon Gabriel there. He's your starter. Bailey Zappi is the emergency quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is named the backup. Why at that point don't you give him some kind of time? And I get it. You're still trying to develop a rookie, and maybe that's the disadvantage of having 2 rookies at the same time at the 1 and 2 spots at the quarterback position. And like you said before on the show, man, the most important position in sports, right? I don't know, man. The whole thing's
without question.
And again, Kevin Stefanski not saying Shedeur's name during press conferences is weird to me. I just don't understand exactly what's going on in the building over in Berea, but whatever. We rarely do.
He's not doing anything more than putting emphasis on who his guy truly is. That's really all that is.
Yeah. Do you think that's? I've heard this question posed, and I guess I want to get your take on it. Do you think that's? I mean, is he trying? I don't know. Is it his effort to not throw shade at Dylan Gabriel? I mean, is it like you don't want to mess with anybody's confidence at this point, right? These are young guys. They're developing. They're trying to make their way in the NFL. It's not easy. I assume it's
Right.
not easy. I've been close. I just assume it's not easy. Looks hard. But do you
Yeah,
think maybe we don't want to like give Dylan Gabriel the idea that we've just moved on from him now, right? But I mean, you could. I
right.
mean, Gabriel knows that Shedeur Sanders has a name, right? Like you can say his name. I just don't understand it, TK. It's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know.
It really is strange. But at the same time, it's just, you really don't want to mess up a guy's confidence within the team. I truly think he doesn't want the kid to think that he's going to get Wally Pip this early into his career, especially with all of the confidence that they have instilled within him. Especially making him a third-round draft pick, which I'm sure many teams probably wouldn't have done despite his long college career.
Yeah.
I just think right now he just wants him to stay out of his head. Granted, you very well can lose your job to injury in the NFL. It's the NFL. He doesn't want him to believe that right now, and he's still got a lot of time left as far as longevity and time in the NFL. He still needs to get development in plenty of areas. I really don't want to throw the can in on the kid after 5 or 6 games. And of course, Kevin doesn't want to either, and it's not going to happen. So it's just a simple message just to say, hey, keep your head in the game. We're going to get back to you soon. Just heal up, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, Wally Pip's a great reference. I think I don't know. It's just and like I said, maybe this is the disadvantage of having 2 rookie quarterbacks on the roster. Not only the fact that you're trying to develop 2 rookie quarterbacks, but now you've got 2 guys on the same time frame, right? They're on rookie contracts together. Everything they do is going to be so closely everything's interlocked, right? Like their shelf life is the exact same with the team. They're going to be under the microscope at the same time and for different reasons. One because he's the starter, one because he's the backup. Now it's switched, because of an injury. I mean, Dylan Gabriel's in the concussion protocol. He didn't just lose his job, right? But here's the interesting thing, all right? And then we'll get to some of the Thanksgiving stuff later because we got into this now, and I can't stop talking about it now. So tomorrow against the Raiders, okay, in Las Vegas, maybe it's kind of a blessing in disguise that Shedeur gets his first start on the road. Maybe that's a good thing. Because the fan base has been weirdly divided about this. And listen, I've never quite understood, before I get to my question for you, I've never really understood as a fan, as a football fan, looking at a team and saying, well, I don't want this quarterback to play well. I want that quarterback to play well. Listen, I know you've said it before. It's all about the name on the front of the jersey, right? We couldn't care less about the name on the back. I mean, everybody has their favorite guys. I get it. Usually those guys kind of earn their way into being your favorites, right? Like if you're a Browns fan, maybe your favorite guys are David Njoku or Myles Garrett or guys who've made plays. Even Carson you want to go rookie, Carson Schwarzenegger made a ton of plays. Tough guy, played with the high ankle sprain, right? Like, okay, he's earned his way into being, and Shedeur Sanders sold a bunch of jerseys. That's cool. That's great. I mean, good for him, man. I don't want to, I'm not knocking that at all by any means, but it's just weird for me to see fans pick a guy and be so adamantly against another guy when that guy's on your team. I mean, that's the team that you root for, and you're rooting against one of these guys for the other. I think that's weird. Is that an ego thing? Is that so people can say, hey, look, I was right about the quarterback? Is that what that is? Or is it something more nefarious?
Oh, of course it is.
What is that?
Of course it is. Everyone has an ego, and everyone wants to let everyone know that they have an ego. But more than anything, this is just to show you why fans are fans. Yeah. Most of the time, they don't know what the hell they talking about. Most of the time, they don't even know what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
So this is just another case of fans being fans. Yes, I'm sure you got your guy, and I'm sure the organization has their guy. At the same time, son, I am worried about the colors of this organization.
Yep.
I want my team to be successful. I do not give a damn who the quarterback was.
Nope.
After about the 25th or 26th one, I just said, the hell with it. One of you guys do something. Somebody do something. I don't care anymore. Yeah. I sincerely don't give a damn. There are bigger fish to fry within this organization than finding out who's going to be the 3,476 starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 25 years.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how this team is going to win. And for whatever reason, that quarterback thing, we just cannot get out of our own way. We had it figured out. I don't give a damn what any fan says in this city. We had it figured out.
Yeah.
Sure, he had a couple of bad seasons marred in between there. Yeah, I understand OBJ ran off and all that other good stuff. I understand that, Freddie Kitchens being hired as a head coach was probably the domino effect of everything that led after that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the playoff appearance in 2020. That was Kevin Stefanski. But, obviously 2019 was terrible. And 2021 was bad as well. Got even worse. It's just again, like, listen, you do it so much that you don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as far as this Cleveland Browns quarterback search is concerned, this is like a crackhead that just cannot complete rehab and get his life together. This is exactly what this is. This is a cracked out situation, and it needs to be handled some way, somehow. And I hope we got the guys in the building to do it, because I truly, unequivocally do not want to draft a passer in the first round. We have other holes that we need to plug.
Yep.
This roster as a whole is crap. We have the worst receiving room in the NFL. We have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL.
But does that receiving room get better with a better quarterback, though? TK, does that receiving room look a lot better with a quarterback who could deliver the ball, accurately and on time? Or I don't know.
It does. It definitely does. But the bottom line is that it still sucks.
Yeah.
It still sucks. Yeah. So you got to think, even with guys like, when Peyton Manning was drafted number 1 overall in '98, he threw 28 interceptions.
Right.
26 touchdown passes too. No one talks about that anymore, but
right.
Rough year, obviously. So now what do we have to do? We still have to get better around this young man.
For sure.
Because if we get him as polished and as highly regarded as he was coming out of the University of Tennessee, and then he gets his ass in there for 16 games and throws to the other team 28 times.
Yeah. You just never quite figured out what color the Colts were wearing.
Now are you?
Right.
So you got to figure out how to build this team first, because you have 2 young men that you've drafted already. Granted, I know everyone wants to put the towel in on Dylan Gabriel. I understand it. It has looked bad. It has looked god-awful at times. But there are things that are tangible within his game that can be worked on, that can be polished, that may just need a little bit of time to be refurbished. And the same thing with Shedeur Sanders. Listen, I understand that there were throws in the game that Dylan had not made all season long, and they looked good. You still have to counter the fact that he only completed 4 out of 16 passes for 47 interceptions, and probably one of the worst interceptions we have seen all season.
Yeah.
I like both kids, man. I've said this numerous times. They both need work. I would not be surprised to see a quarterback competition going into training camp next season between these 2 guys. Would not be surprised at all. The odds on FanDuel for that would probably be minus 800, because you know what's going to happen.
I don't know if I can stomach it, man. I don't know if I can but it's going to happen, but I don't know if I can stomach it again. I want to have one season, TK, where we go into training camp, OTAs, whatever it is, and we know who the starter is going to be, And it's just a matter of like, the Bengals or the Steelers, just keeping them healthy, right? Just keep him upright, keep him safe in the pocket. Don't let him, turf up his toes. That's not a thing. No, the turf thing with Burrow. And by the way, Joe Burrow might be back soon. He's had a full week of practice for the Bengals. So now all of a sudden they've got, I guess, two guys named Joe who are going to be back. I don't know. What do you do now? Does Flacco end up? I mean, do they release him? Where does he go? I'm sure they'll probably keep him.
It's just going to be QB2 now. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll keep him as a backup because Browning wasn't it. Well, I don't know. It's such a mess in Cleveland. Or Berea, whatever you want to say. It's just, like I said, we rarely know what's going on in the building. I don't even know what to expect. Well, here's one thing I do expect, and maybe I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but I think that when the Browns come out on offense, whenever that is, I don't know. Who knows if they'll get the ball first or not? We don't know that yet. But the first time the Browns have the football, I think that first drive is going to look pretty good. TK. I think they'll do some things. I think they're going to work the Shedeur's strengths. I think Tommy Rees is going to, hopefully, and Kevin Stefanski together will craft a game plan that works to Shedeur's. Like I said, it just works a little more to his strengths, his comfort level. And I think you'll see that first drive go pretty well. I'm not guaranteeing a score by any means, but I think we'll look more in sync in time with the offense. And I think when Shedeur Sanders, when he plays in time, I think he could be Kevin Stefanski's kind of ideal quarterback. I mean, he's a good play action guy. He was a really good play action guy in college at Colorado. His completion percentage was way up on play action.
Very good arm.
Yeah, he's got a great arm. He's got a pretty good football mind. I think he's got a high football IQ. He does have to stop abandoning the pocket and running backwards. That's a thing. You got to break him with that. That doesn't work in the NFL. You can't go try to create that leverage backwards. You have to step up into the pocket and create throwing angles in the NFL. I think he'll learn that with time. Listen, right now, I wouldn't want to sit behind that offensive line and trust, stepping up into the pocket. I mean, we saw last week there were three Browns trying to block one guy, and you just let a blitzer come right through the middle. Things like that probably keep a young quarterback from wanting to step up into the pocket and make a good, strong throw.
I saw that play. Ethan Postich looked completely lost. I understood what the mission statement was for Wyatt Teller and KT Levingston, but I don't know what the hell Ethan Postich was looking at. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe if we get Bill Callahan back in here, it looks like less of a mess. I don't know. I have no idea.
That should have happened as soon as Tennessee let his son go.
Well, and I
don't know why that hasn't happened yet.
Well, maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Maybe they're in talks. I don't know. I mean, listen, if you're the Browns, how do you let an offensive line coach go? I get it. They're not playing well, but how do you let an offensive line coach go without letting a special teams coach go, an offensive coordinator go, the head coach go, the GM? Like, do you want to clean house in the middle of the season, bring Bill Callahan in who would even be your interim head coach at that point? I guess it'd be Schwartz. I don't know. I mean, I just don't really know.
About three of those four guys that you mentioned need to be gone now. So, that doesn't matter at all. Obviously, the interim would be Schwartzy.
Yeah.
Definitely the perfect person for it. But it's
do you want him as your head coach going forward? I mean, do you want him as the long-term guy? Or are you looking to bring somebody else in? I mean, who?
I wouldn't be bothered by it. I really wouldn't be bothered by it. Jim Schwartz does have head coaching experience. You remember he did turn around the Detroit Lions program for a little bit, got them to a playoff appearance. Granted, they didn't win. But you remember those the 2014 Lions team that was 11-5 and had the best defense in the NFL that year. And then they went to Dallas and got hosed horribly on a phantom pass interference call. Actually, a pass interference call that wasn't called and was rescinded back. So
I forgot about that.
I would not have a problem at all with Jim Schwartz moving on as our head coach. And I'm sure he probably wants some work as a head coach as well. I think he's more than proved himself as a DC yet again with us. Granted, some of the numbers aren't as great as they should be. You can almost completely contribute that to our anemic offense. So, having Schwartzy as our interim coach would not be bad at all. You remember the last time that we cleaned house in the middle of the season? We actually got better.
Yeah. Yeah, they played really well down the stretch.
And then let the man walk out of the door.
Yep.
And then what made it even worse is that in 2019, the year that we let Greg Williams go and we hired Freddie Kitchens as our head coach, the Jets had a better season than us.
Of course.
And a better defense.
Of course.
What do you know?
I mean, the answer was right there. It's like the Browns have perpetually, when they make decisions, it's like they've had to be the smartest guy in the room on every decision instead of just going with what's obvious. You know, you have to overanalyze everything, and maybe that's gone now that Paul D. Podesta is gone. But I still think that I don't know. I think that trait still. I think it's still there with Jimmy Haslam. I think he's always going to meddle a little bit, and we may not publicly see it, you know, as fans or as, you know, on the outside looking in, but it sure feels like there's some meddling there. Whatever. I mean, maybe we don't have the business guys making football decisions anymore. Maybe we need to get some football guys in here, but
that'd be great. I can't wait.
I can't wait. Well, I mean, don't hold your breath, because
does Bill Parcells want to come out of retirement for a third time?
I mean, hey, I don't know. Why not?
Tuna?
Anybody. What's Rex Ryan doing? That would be a better option at this point.
Rex Ryan's running his mouth recklessly on ESPN.
Well, he'd have a strong foothold on the roster. Okay, I'm done. Something you said earlier about Shedeur being the 42nd starting quarterback for the Browns since they came back in 1999. Have you ever seen the movie, TK? Have you ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have. No.
Okay, well, we'll talk about this a little bit more on the pregame show tomorrow. But so in that movie, 42, okay, the number 42 is the answer. It's the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, right? And actually, even if you search if you ask Google, and I have to read the quote here, if you actually go onto Google and ask, quote, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, it will tell you it's the number 42. So Shedeur Sanders might be it, man. That might be it. It might be the answer, right? 42 is it. Guy number 42 to step in there and make the start. Very well could be it, according to Google and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So maybe check out that movie between now and tomorrow. And
only with us, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Only with us.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Listen, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, let me ask you this too. I wanted to ask you this question, and I got sidetracked. So Shedeur Sanders goes out. He starts at the Raiders, and we know Geno Smith isn't great, right? That offense isn't very good. This could be a game where the Browns really, really could feast on defense. You could see Myles Garrett have, 5, 12, 52 sacks or whatever tomorrow. Yeah. And maybe not lose 32-13, because I'm not sure the Raiders can put up 32 points. But what if Shedeur Sanders goes out tomorrow? Here's my point. What if he goes out tomorrow and he throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and looks pretty good within the offense, looks on time, accurate, gets the ball out of his hands quickly, delivers it accurately, throws some nice balls. Can the Browns go back to Dylan Gabriel after that? I mean, you've got to give him at least one more start, right? He's got to start against the 49ers if he goes out and plays well tomorrow, right? And if they win, I mean, think about if they win too, on top of that, you got to give him a start, another one, right?
If Shedeur throws for 300 and gets a W, there is no way Dylan Gabriel sees the field again for the rest of the season.
Now, okay, let me ask you this. If he goes to 303 against the Raiders, and then against the 49ers, lays an egg, goes out there and goes, 4 of 19 again or whatever with a couple interceptions, throws for 81 yards, has a worse quarterback rating, which, by the way, his quarterback rating, I think, what was it, 13.6?
13.5, yep.
30, whatever. And then they said that if he had just taken every snap and just thrown the ball right into the ground, he would have had a higher quarterback rating. It's unbelievable to me. And by the way, that interception did look like the classic, like, here, you take this. I don't want to get hit. Take here.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. Granted, he got the crap kicked out of him on that play. As he was getting ready to the football. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, he got hit. He's not safe in the pocket with this offensive line. But so yeah, if he plays so poorly, I mean, where are we at? Is it Bailey Zappi time? Do you go back to Dylan Gabriel? Do you just complete the tank and just go 2-15 and ride out the season and try to get that number 1 pick? There are just so many options. And listen, none of them are great. right? Because even if let's say Shedeur Sanders plays really well over the last few weeks of the season, the Browns win a couple of games, few games here and there, and they end up 5-12. That's almost like a nightmare, right? Like now you don't have a top 5 pick. You're not getting into the playoffs. It's just like the writing's on the wall for this thing to go really poorly in 2 different ways, right? You want your team to win. That's good. But then when your team wins at this point in the season, it's like now all you're doing is just killing that draft status. I know you don't want to pick a quarterback with the top pick, but there are guys up there at the top of the draft that can help immediately. But the Browns have to get it right. And that's the concern. I mean, with 2 first-round picks, there's no excuse to not add 2 players that can come in and not just contribute immediately, but can come in and help make a difference on this team. And they've got to be on the offensive side of the ball. We can't draft for defense right now. Can't do that.
Right.
Can't do that.
Right. As wonderful as having 2 first-round picks may be, that's kind of our Achilles heel. We go back to our history of the drafts in which we have had 2 first-round picks. Trent Richardson, Brandon Whedon, Johnny Manziel, Justin Gilbert, Danny Shelton, Cameron Irving. So yeah, I mean, obviously there was the 1 year where we got Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward. That was pretty fun.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty lucky too. Like I don't see how we had 2 top 5 picks in that draft. That's crazy. That is wild, man. Anyway.
The glory years, man.
right. When we really think about that, it's there's a huge opportunity there to get better.
Yeah.
But usually we don't really do too well with these things. I definitely think if you were to get a bunch of fans right now, get a group of fans, poll everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What 2 positions do you think we need to target within the first round of the draft? I believe at least 80% of them folks would say wide receiver and offensive tackle.
Yeah. Listen, TK, I think a lot of people are going to say quarterback because they're fed up with Gabriel. They're fed up with Sanders, even though we've only seen 16 passes. That's not fair, but they're fed up. They've already made up their minds. They've watched him drop in the draft, and they watched, the watch celebration at Colorado, which, by the way, who cares? Let the kid be a kid. I mean, he's having fun.
Let him enjoy himself. Jesus.
Come on. I'm starting to really, really despise the saying, act like you've been there before, because, I mean, I'm on the other side of that. I'm all about acting like you might never be there again. I mean, have fun. Enjoy it. Who knows? I mean, anything can happen. Your career can end in a second, right? For any number of reasons. Man, just let the kid be a kid and enjoy himself, man. I mean, you get to play college football one time. Most guys get to do it for 3 or 4 years. If you were lucky enough to go to school over COVID, maybe you had an injury, you get to do it for like 9 years. I mean, there are guys that were like 26, 27 years old that were in college, which whatever. I mean, that's fine. Who am I to tell people what to do with their life? People are like, hey, move on. It's time to move on. Hey, listen, I don't care. If you can stay in college and play football, do it for as long as you can. I mean, to me, that's the pinnacle. I know the NFL is the NFL. You want to get there and make the big money. I mean, but now guys are making big money in college, and I prefer college football. I just think that's, I don't know. That's like, I don't know.
Those kids do it for the genuine love of the game and for an education. Cam McCormick went to the University of Miami. Not just the University of Miami, but he was in college for about 9 years.
Yeah.
Did a majority of those 9 years at the University of Miami. So,
yeah. Cam Rising retired from football as a 41-year-old college student. It's sad because of injuries, but it wasn't 41 either, but I'm exaggerating a little bit. But I mean, that happens, like I said, if you can stay in college as long as you can. I mean, enjoy yourself, have fun, man. But yeah, I don't know. Sanders, he'll be the 42nd Browns quarterback to start tomorrow against the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas. Maybe it's a good thing that he's starting on the road. Maybe it's a good thing that my dog is yelling at somebody right now. Who knows? I have no idea. He apparently does not like the idea of Sanders starting tomorrow at Las Vegas. But whatever, we're gonna move on. That's what's gonna happen. So my dog's gonna have to get over it. Listen, it's Thanksgiving week. It might as well be. I know it's not Sunday yet, but it might as well just be. We'll call it Thanksgiving week because we're less than 7 days away. I want to move on to something that it's probably a little bit easier to talk about than the Browns starting quarterback situation. For me, the ideal Thanksgiving dinner table is whatever you want to have. Turkey's fine, ham, whatever. I don't care. But for me, if you have 42 different sides, not 42 different starting quarterbacks, 42 different sides on the table, that's perfect, right? So I don't even know if I could name 42 sides.
It's a lot of damn sides.
That's a lot of sides, but I'll try them all, and I'll go back for seconds, and I will be miserable, and I probably won't eat right for 3 days. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to put that effort in on Thursday. So let me ask you this, TK. You're sitting at the table, you got your turkey, you got your whatever you're eating. Like I said, I don't care. Some people get pizzas. You order pizza the day before, whatever. It's fine. I'm not telling you have to have a turkey, but if you're going to have the turkey dinner, the traditional turkey dinner, give me like your top 2. Let's go top 2 favorite sides because picking one is hard. So you're looking at your table, you got your plate. What takes up the most room on your plate other than that turkey, man?
Oh, well, I definitely got to say mac and cheese first. My mother makes a magnificent mac and cheese.
Okay.
I think she uses like 5 cheeses. I want to say American, white American, Gouda, Havarti, and Colby Jack.
Okay.
Weird, right? But it's amazing.
Not weird. That sounds delicious. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And just recently, probably like about maybe a year or 2 ago, I've really been into sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes and or yams. Got to have a little extra brown sugar on them. You pair them up with that mac and cheese, and then you hit them together, and that is just, that's it. That's it for me. It's gonna be the mac and cheese and sweet potatoes for me.
I've come to realize it always comes back to food on this show, man. Every time, no matter what we're talking about, we always circle back to food. I don't know what that's about, but
every time.
I'm fine with it. I'm with you on sweet potatoes. That's one of my favorite sides, period. Let alone, I don't care if it's Thanksgiving dinner, if it's whatever it is, sweet potatoes are good, right?
Extra brown sugar is a must.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. That sounds good. So now for me, I don't know if I'm going to load up on more carbs because I do love like a good garlic mashed potato, right? That's pretty good. Usually every year my wife does like everything, and then somebody else might bring a turkey, whatever, if we have Thanksgiving here, but I'll make the mashed potatoes usually. That's like my thing. So I do love mashed potatoes, but yeah, mac and cheese sounds good. Green bean casserole is always really good. Man, what else is there? I mean, I can't even think. The stuffing is always pretty good, right? Man, I don't know. I'm just going to stick with sweet potatoes, and I'm going to stick with traditional, just the garlic mashed potato, whatever, just plain mashed potatoes. You want to go cheesy mashed potatoes, you can go cheesy ranch mashed potatoes. You can put anything in mashed potatoes. Listen, that's the thing. Mashed potatoes get along with any other little side, right? They're going to be fine. They're not going to argue.
Yeah.
You can put bacon in there if you want to. You can do whatever you want with mashed potatoes to church them up a little bit, and they're still good. So, I'm gonna go sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes. But man, that 5 cheese. What do I call it? 5 cheese mac and cheese or mac and 5 cheese? I don't know. Mama Dandridge. Man, Mama Dandridge cooking it up. Okay. All right.
Yeah, she's a goat in the kitchen. Definitely a goat.
Okay. All right. I love it, man. We're going to have a show Thanksgiving dinner, man. All right. What else? We got Ohio State Rutgers today. Ohio State plays Rutgers. That's last home game for the Buckeyes. It'll be senior day. That's a noon kickoff, right? On the Big Ten Network.
12:05. So yeah, basically noon.
12:05. Okay. I got a little pregame show in there, right? Now, the only thing that concerns me with Rutgers is it's not the 2-5 record in the conference. It's not the 5-5 overall record. It's Greg Schiano. Not that Greg Schiano, as an Ohio State defensive coordinator, we don't think he has, very much intimate knowledge or whatever you're going to say of the Buckeyes now. I mean, he's been gone for too long. But what concerns me about Schiano is his propensity to run a bunch of trick plays. I don't know if you remember. I don't remember what year it was. But the Buckeyes went to Piscataway. They played, they played at Rutgers. And it was like the whole second half, the offense was just crazy. It was a bunch of tricky gadget plays. The defense just never quite looked like they were on their feet. I mean, they played well. The Buckeyes still won. They're 10-0 all time against Rutgers. Rutgers has really never come close to winning. Per se, scores have been close here and there. But do you see any of that today with Schiano, or was that a one-time kind of a thing? That was right after we left Ohio State and went to Rutgers, by the way. Again, I can't remember what season that was, but do you see any of that today? I mean, I don't know how else. If you're Greg Schiano and you're Rutgers, you go into this game, you go, how else are we going to win? I mean, we got to do something. The Buckeyes are they're a well-oiled machine right now. I mean, they're
absolutely.
and it's not just that they're just playing so well in every facet of the game that they're not even playing starter. I mean, they're not even blowing teams out. They're putting their second and third string guys in relatively close games when most teams wouldn't be comfortable doing that. But they've got such a deep roster. They've recruited so well. They're just so finely tuned across the board that they can throw anybody out there, and there's not a huge drop off. So if you're Greg Schiano, I mean, do you come in with that kind of a game plan again, or see where the chips fall, or do you look for maybe more of a normal game plan today, per se, against the Buckeyes? What do you think, TK?
Oh, without question, you want this game to be as unconventional as humanly possible. Listen, the odds are stacked up against you tremendously. You have a unit of monsters that you are expected to play away from your home in New Jersey. Anything that he needs to do, he's gonna pull everything out. He's gonna pull everything out. There are going to be the trick plays. You may even see a couple fake punts here and there. You may see a couple end arounds, maybe a flea flicker or two. He's gonna pull out everything. He's going to pull out everything in his arsenal. You got to remember, Greg Schiano is one of the college coaches that really enjoys playing spoiler. Even during his very short NFL career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he had a number of instances in which his teams have played spoiler to other teams' playoff journeys and this, that, and the other. So, yeah, he's going to pull out every stop that he possibly can to try to get this win at the Horseshoe.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to put this up one more time on the screen. Ryan Mosser, our buddy Ryan Mosser, not only our co-host on the Inside Edge Net Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show, but co-host of the Commissioner's Couch. I guess he appreciated my Rex Ryan joke. But Ryan, I gotta ask you, man. For some reason, it says that you made this comment at 4:57 a.m. So you were very prophetic with that. Somehow you knew I was going to make that joke. Commented at 4:57 a.m. and it just popped up. That's pretty impressive. Sorry I missed your comment earlier, but yeah, 4:57 a.m. What's up with that, Ryan? Anyway, all the other, we got some weird comments here from YouTube, a bunch of spam stuff, but I'm not going to put those on the show, but they all happened at the right time. And then Ryan's comment came in at 4:57 a.m. it says. So I don't know what time Ryan Mosser's on. You know, I guess it's always early when Ryan, he gets up early. You got to get up early to have the kind of fantasy knowledge that Ryan has, right? That's the reason there. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Schiano is going to probably, I think he's probably going to come in looking to not make some noise necessarily, but to try to just throw a monkey wrench into the machine that Ohio State is right now. I don't think you can go out with a team, and I'm not, Rutgers, they have talented football players, but they're not 4 and 5 stars like Ohio State, right? We know that. I don't mean to disparage those guys at all, but I just don't think you come into the game and go, hey, let's line it up 11 on 11, see what we got. Really, no one's come close. And I mean, I know people say they didn't play Texas very well in week 1, but with a first-time starter at quarterback, I don't think the game. I mean, who expected the game plan to be wide open in week 1 against the number 1 team in the nation? It's silly to think that, I know hindsight's always 20/20, and we look back and we go, oh, look, Texas fell off and Ohio State didn't play him very well. But I mean, I think the game plan was very close to the vest. I just don't think we expected.
It was the first week of the season.
Yeah,
everyone was rusty.
Right. It was 91 degrees or whatever it was, on the turf. I think that was just a kind of limited game plan.
Yeah, it was super hot that day. My goodness.
It wasn't as hot as it could have been, though. They were expecting like high 80s, and I think it was like in the high 70s. But it still cooks down on that turf. Regardless, it gets really warm down there on a warm day. So, I think that had a little bit to do with it. I think if they played again, I think Ohio State beats Texas now probably 31-10, 31-7. I don't think it's really necessarily that close of a game anymore. I don't know. I think you had to go in and game plan. You didn't know what you were going to see out of Arch Manning. You didn't know if he was going to come out and throw for 300 yards and a couple, 2-3 touchdowns. So you had to, whatever. It's just a ball control kind of a situation, but they're fine. Ohio State looks really good. I don't expect any problems with Rutgers today. Do you have any kind of a score prediction at all? We know Ohio State hasn't been running it up, right? They've been sort of keeping it, I don't want to say keeping it close, but they've been, I don't know, just sort of doing enough to go out there and get a win, and then, getting some guys some playing time because, it doesn't hurt. I doubt we'll see Jeremiah Smith or much of Jeremiah Smith today. I doubt we'll see Carnell Tate today. I really doubt we'll see a full game of Julian Sayin. I think we'll see a lot of guys that, well, I don't want to say guys that we don't normally see. I think we'll see a lot of guys that we've been seeing the last few weeks. A lot of second, third teamers out there. And like I said, the production level doesn't drop off that much. Yeah, I don't know. You have a score prediction on the game today or no?
Give me Ohio State 34 to 10.
Yeah, that's kind of about what that's about the range I'm in. I don't think they're going to go out and put 60 up on Rutgers. I just don't think that's that's just not the kind of game they've been playing. I mean, they've been, I think maybe it's the load. It's like the NBA's version or the college football's version of the NBA's load management where, yeah, starters are going out there and playing, but I mean, they've averaged so many less snaps than, the next team right behind them. I think it's smart. I think, we talked about the comparison between them and Indiana. By the time the 12 games regular season is over, Indiana's going to have played enough snaps to have played 13 or 14 games. Whereas Ohio State, it looks like they played 10 games, based on the number of snaps. And I think that's smart. I think that's a brilliant move by Ryan Day. When you've got the depth, you might as well keep as many guys healthy as you can and get as many guys as much experience as you can. So everybody is pretty even across the board. It's a lot of 1A, 1B, 1C situations as opposed to first team, second team, third team. I think if you look at that roster depth, if anything happens with Indiana and they got to go to second and third teamers, there's obviously, I think, a huge drop off, compared to Ohio State's second and third teamers. So, because we're right now we're previewing what a possible Big Ten championship game could be, because the Buckeyes do have a big game next week. I mean, today I expect them to handle their business, like you said, 34 to 10. 31, 38 to 7 or 10. I think that's a safe score prediction for today. But next week in the Big House, they're gonna go up to Michigan, and it's not a situation that's been very good to Ryan Day. A lot of people forget that he has won one game against Michigan. I see a lot of Michigan fans go, "Your coach is 0-4. You guys are 0-4 against Michigan." And they just start playing the game in 2021. Like, I don't understand. They're not 0-4. They've lost 4 in a row. That's bad. But I mean, nobody likes that. But if you look at the results of last year's season, it didn't really mean that much. And honestly,
it didn't mean anything at all.
Well, yeah, and it might have been the kick in the butt that they needed, to be honest with you. I think that there's a shot of Ryan Day where everybody looked at it as a moment of weakness, where he asked Jack Sawyer or somebody, I think he said, "What happened?" Right? And everybody was like, "Well, he doesn't even know what's going on." That was like Ryan Day's, every villain has their origin story, right? Like, that was Ryan Day's origin story right there. Like, the planting of the flag at midfield was Ryan Day's, like, that was his full on, like, he turned into a villain, right? He's like a super villain now. Look, I mean, that playoff run was diabolical. I mean, they dismantled some of the best teams in the nation. And I'm tired of the soft schedule. Who cares about the soft schedule? Look what they did when they played. They beat 4 top 5 teams in the playoffs. Who cares about the soft regular? They obviously proved that they can do it. People act like scheduling is a week-to-week thing. Like, Ryan Day is just going through and picking. Oh, well, we'll take Rutgers this week. We'll go.
Exactly. They have nothing to do with that.
No, you can't do anything about the Big Ten schedule. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And even the out of conference games are scheduled a decade beforehand. I mean, it had nothing to do with Ryan Day or Urban Meyer for that matter. I mean, this is an administrative thing. This isn't like head coaches going through and give me Mercer, give me Austin P, and give me the Citadel. I'll take those. That sounds like a good trio to start. Nobody's doing that, right? Like, the Buckeyes have had multiple, talks with a lot of different SEC schools. They've got Georgia on the schedule coming up. Played Texas. They've got Alabama on the schedule coming up. Now, listen, if Kalen DeBoer and Alabama drop off the face of the earth, that's not the Buckeyes' fault. Don't give me, they scheduled a cupcake again. They did. No, they scheduled Bama when they were in the prime of their run, right? Like, that's when that happened. They scheduled Georgia when Georgia was the team. I mean, they're trying to get these marquee matchups. A lot of teams do try to avoid them. I think a lot of teams go head first into them. I think it's a lot of fun that the Buckeyes have these games coming up. Scheduling isn't a week-to-week thing. Stop acting like Ryan Day is responsible for the schedule. That's silly. It's nonsense. Stop calling them Ohio soft. They're clearly not soft. I mean, they ran through 4 top 5 teams on the way to a national title last year. Do not confuse that with being soft. I mean, the fact that the game plan was a little wonky last year, for whatever reason, it felt really stubborn. It was like, well, we're going to go prove that we can run the ball right up the middle on Michigan and do whatever we want. I think Will Howard was a little banged up going into that game last year too. I think some of that game plan was to maybe kind of not disguise, but sort of protect him, or just, to try to keep a little banged up quarterback from having to make too many plays. And nobody made any plays, right? It didn't happen. Whatever, they lost the game, but they won a national title. I think it's weird. Michigan fans will just type a score into comments. It's like
everybody needs something to laugh at or to be able to poop on at their own leisure. That is all that is.
Sure.
And again, Michigan is 8-2 this year, despite how horrible Bryce Underwood has been.
Yeah.
You thank the world for guys like Jordan Marshall and Justin Hayes, who both have 10 rushing touchdowns on the season. So at least they're able to get some type of offensive assertion somewhere.
Yeah. Well, now Hayes is going to be out now, right? With the foot surgery, he's out. So
snap. So it's just Jordan Marshall now.
Yeah, and I don't. Again, I'd rather see Michigan at full strength. I mean, I'm never going to wish injury on a kid. I don't care who you play for, where. I'd rather just see him at full strength, not because it's like, well, I would have beat you. I don't want kids to get hurt, man. That's nonsense.
Right.
So yeah, you'd obviously, the injuries stink, but it happens. It's football. Every team has them right now. Ohio State's dealing with a couple of guys that are, a little banged up. I mean, the 2 best receivers in the nation, probably a little bit banged up right now. So it happens. Everybody comes into not week 12, but everybody comes into game 12. It's football. I mean, you're not going to be perfect health-wise. You can't be perfect. But I think this is where the Buckeyes are right now. I think they're a really finely tuned machine. But we're going to see next week in Ann Arbor really how far they've come since last year at this time. The national title was fantastic, but listen, if they lose a 5th game in a row to Michigan, I think that fire Ryan Day talk is going to start getting stirred up again. I think it's nonsense. I will take a loss to Michigan in a national title every single year for the rest of Ryan Day's career.
Every single day of the week.
And I don't care. Will I be a little annoyed and upset that they lost to Michigan? Of course. It's a rival. Of course I'll feel that way. But I'm never going to be upset. I don't care if my team loses 2 games and goes, on to the national title and wins that. That doesn't feel like a cheap title or whatever Michigan fans said. I don't care about that. It's a national championship.
No one listens to them.
No, it's nonsense. And now even with the 12, they go, well, it's easier with the 12-team playoff.
And you guys cheated to get yours, so what does it matter?
Well, and how is it easier to beat more top 5 teams? I don't understand.
Exactly.
Like the logic is so backwards and bizarre that
no one listens to them.
No one's listening to you. Stop saying it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I got today. TK, you have anything else before we get out of here, man? Sweet potatoes, 5 mac and cheese, mac and 5 cheese, not 5 macs, just 1 mac, 5 cheeses. What else? Mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. What's your favorite dessert, man? We didn't talk about that. I meant to ask you, what's your favorite Turkey Day dessert? What's your favorite thing to eat? You traditional pumpkin pie guy, or what do you like?
Favorite dessert. Let's see here. Well, apple pie is always a classic. Definitely love apple pie.
Yeah, it's a good fall pie, right?
A couple years ago, we actually had red velvet cake on Thanksgiving, which was a surprise. It was pretty nice.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with those. As far as
is that a 5 cheese red velvet cake or no? Is it just a normal red velvet cake?
No.
I didn't mean to ruin red velvet cake. Sorry about that.
You're good. As far as anything else, I just wanted to touch briefly on the Cavs game last night. Pretty huge win over Indiana. I think the biggest part of that was seeing Darius Garland get his feet underneath him. 20.7 assists in 27 minutes last night against the Indiana Pacers, who were undermanned themselves. It's just good to see him back out there making the plays that he used to make. This was quickly starting to look like another season from hell for him as far as the injuries are going to go. But it looks like he's going to be able to smooth the ship out much sooner than later. Great to see him back out there for the Cavs.
Yeah. Listen, the NBA regular season is hard for me to get into. I don't really start winding up and really wanting to watch NBA and later on in the spring, close end of the regular season. Feedback here. Closer to the end of the regular season, closer to the beginning of the playoffs. For me, it's like, I don't know, man. These winter months of like sports, once football's over, that is like the abyss of sports to me. I can't watch as much college football again until spring, until we get into March Madness.
I mean,
yeah, all the buzzer beaters are fun. I gotta mute you for 1 second. I'm sorry, man. A little bit of feedback, but yeah, I that time of the year is really fun for me. But man, these February, like after the Super Bowl, that February, beginning of March, whoo, that's rough for me. But yeah, we're coming up. That's all I know. Shedeur Sanders, starting quarterback for the Browns. I don't know why that's doing that, but we're gonna mute you again. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we got Sanders is going to be the 42nd starting quarterback to go out there for the Browns since 1999 when they came back. 42. Just keep in mind that I said I think we're almost at the same number of presidents that the country's had in 200 years. So that's something. I guess that makes the Browns patriotic. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, that's going on tomorrow. We got the Buckeyes. They're going to take on Rutgers today, the Scarlet Knights. I figure they'll handle their business. There'll be no problem there. If they don't win by 50, everybody says, "Oh, they're going to lose to Michigan," whatever. They'll be fine. But yeah, next week in Ann Arbor, I mean, we'll talk about it on the show next Saturday morning. We'll talk about it leading right up to kickoff, and I'm looking forward to it. I think that's it for us on illegal formation. The start of illegal formation. Wow, I don't know what is going on with your audio today, buddy. That was really bad. But anyway, I'll let you say something before we get out of here. But yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. Always, again, tomorrow we've got the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns, and NFL pregame show. We'll have our buddy Ryan Mosser on for that. It'll be you, me, and Ryan. I'm looking forward to that. We'll get into more of the Shedeur Sanders stuff. We'll talk about, we'll ask Ryan what his favorite Thanksgiving foods are too. Yeah, I mean, other than that, just we'll see you tomorrow on that show. I don't know, go watch some college football, enjoy that. If you've got YouTube TV, you've got ESPN back. So corporate greed, I guess, wins again. I still have to go claim my little $20 stipend that they're giving me that somehow is equivalent to me missing 2 weeks of college football, but whatever. That's priceless. ESPN, Disney, YouTube TV. Come on, $20. Anyway, TK, you got anything before we get out of here?
Not much, boss. We sound a little better now.
We'll see. Sometimes, for some reason, when I'm talking, it's gives some feedback now. But boy, that's really weird. But anyway, we're out of here. We will see you tomorrow on the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show. For TK Dandridge, I am Chad Bryan. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys so much. And remember, just tune in tomorrow at 11, and we'll break down Browns at Raiders, starting quarterback number 42 in 26 seasons. See you guys tomorrow.